I was in the ROTC, and I'd always liked fast cars and restored cars as a hobby in high school. So I always had liked flying, so I signed up to fly jets. And so that was the path that I was on initially until I took the vision test, and they said, you're not going to be in the front seat of a jet. And so then I kind of said, well, I've got to find something else to do when I grow up type thing. So I kind of fell back to my upbringing, and again, my mom, and her mom was a nurse, and of course her father was a surgeon. So I said, well, it'd probably be a good thing to be a doctor. And so, you know, I became a biology major and applied to medical school, and here I am. That has been probably the most rewarding experience of all the things that I have done in my life. To have families that have dying children put their trust in you at that time of their lives has been just, you know, very, very rewarding. And yes, they have terminal diseases. It's very sad, but they're very strong, interestingly. And it's the families that really, you know, suffer in those situations. So the children, believe it or not, actually hold the family together a lot of times as they go through that process. And then when the child dies, you know, we have a bereavement program and work with the parents and the siblings. And there's just a lot of, you know, financial issues and domestic issues. And I think the thing it's done for me, you know, we all have good days and bad days, and you know, someone will say, well, they'll be complaining about this or that, and it's like, you know, that if you look at the big picture, you think about these families, what they're going through, then, you know, that it kind of makes those less significant. So it really helped put my life in perspective. I was sworn in January of '08, and shortly after being sworn in, Governor Kane came knocking on my door, and he said, you know, it's time for Virginia to go smokeless in restaurants. And he said, you're a doctor. So he literally had me jump into the deep end my first year here. And so we presented that bill. It passed in the Senate the first year. The second had failed in the House. I came back and talked to some folks on the other side of the aisle. And, you know, in 2009, we were able to get it through the Senate and the House, and Governor Kane signed it into law. And that's one of the things we've done with cigarette smoking. And, you know, we had the Commission for Healthy Youth that I've served on. And you know, that again, if we can just keep our children from putting that first cigarette in their mouth, then I think we've done a great service to society. I think they just need to realize that there are people out there, whether it be from their, you know, physical illness or mental illness, that, you know, they're suffering, that again, they don't have the same opportunities, they don't have the same chances that we have, and the only way we can help them is, you know, folks like you and me, you know, seeing what we can do to make that happen. You know, a lot of people talk about the government this and the government that, and, you know, I've always been an advocate for the less government, the better. But when, you know, if we're going to not rely on the government, which we shouldn't, we need to rely on our society, and, you know, whether that be as us as doctors and nurses, providers, or through the churches or whatever, we should all be a part of making, you know, this world a better place to live.